My name is Xing Yali. I am an English teacher in a public high school in Jiangsu, which is a small city in the north of China. It is a beautiful city with 42 minorities and a rich ethnic culture. For a person living in such a small city, it is very difficult to get the opportunity to work in America. I was lucky enough to win this opportunity in 2015 to teach Chinese Mandarin in America through a super competitive language program called the Teachers of Critical Language Program, which is sponsored by the US government. The program is aimed at strengthening the learning of Chinese in American schools and cultivate American students' interest in Chinese language and Chinese culture. My host school is Madison East High School of Wisconsin. I love Madison, where I spent a happy year. I love my students and colleagues in East High. I enjoy teaching Chinese so much, though it is only 1 year. On July 26, 2015, I set foot on America. The first stop was Washington, D.C., where the American Council conducted a 9-day orientation on American school system, American students, teaching methods, and cross-cultural communication. From my perspective, language is a tool for communication. So, how to teach the students to use the communicative tool is the key point in the teaching of Chinese. Because listening and speaking are the basic skills for communication, I employed audio method in my teaching. Students can gain the input of Chinese by listening and mimicking, then convert the input to output by practicing. I designed different activities for my students to use the target language, such as making conversation, doing a survey, and doing a presentation. In my class, I use the target language in teaching as much as possible. Using the target language can create a language atmosphere, which can make the students connected with the target language and improve their listening ability, especially the fact that most students do not have connections with Chinese outside the classroom. Definitely, the students can't understand all the teacher says, but they can be encouraged to focus on the learning content and more engaged. When my students had difficulty understanding, I would perform and use gestures to help them guess what I was teaching. To my great surprise, most of the time they could figure out the meaning correctly, which gave me the confidence to insist on using target language in class. Interest plays an important role in learning. My students one side, they enjoyed the class that can combine academia and fun, so I employed plenty of fun activities. For instance, educational games, performances, and competitions. My students showed great interest in these activities, and they mastered the vocabulary, sentence structures, and the application of Chinese well. Exploring Chinese culture is also a great way for the students to learn more about the Chinese language. So, at the end of each topic, I would design a cultural lesson, such as Chinese traditional festivals, exotic animals, paper cutting, ink painting, etc. Among them, the traditional festivals were the most important. My students learned the origin of the festivals, how to celebrate them, and had the traditional food. The most fun thing about the festivals was making dumplings with my students. The experience in Madison was amazing. In addition to meeting these lovely students, I also made some good friends. My mentor Claudine, who was always giving me help, both at work and in daily life. My supervisor Randy, taking me to Milwaukee to watch basketball and baseball. My social liaison Barbara, taking me to taste the delicious food in Madison. I'm most grateful to my host family, who treated me as their own daughter. I feel that I'm so lucky that I can come to such an amazing city and meet so many nice people. The experience in medicine has changed me gradually. I become more accommodating and willing to try new things. I know that I'm not the most talented and no more unique than others. The only thing I can determine is that I know where I'm going, what I want to pursue. No matter what difficulties and obstacles will be on the way, I am determined to stick on my dream. I believe that God will care for those who work hard